Siéntate, mijo. You just spit the apple everywhere. You know what I like more than driving Lamborghinis and having a lot of money? See this back here? Knowledge. A pillow, a booster seat. No, I didn't. I just used my points. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. There you go. Look at that. Now we're the same height. Kinda. Should I wear a white shirt to like... Never mind. What's up, guys? My name is Esteban Alvarez. For you, those of you who are new to watching this, I am 20 years old and I'm on a path to, I guess you could say, like financial freedom and success. And I have here a good friend of mine, partner, fellow investor.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is David. I do part-time investing. I'm a full-time student. I'm here with Esteban today because I want to get rich.
You know, one thing that I feel like not that many people know about, but they should get knowledgeable on. Why? Helps you leverage your money, right? Everybody needs it. If you want to buy a house, you're gonna need it. You want to buy a car, you're gonna need it.
You're gonna need credit in some point in your life.
Tell your story when you first started.
So I'm 22 years old right now. I'm a little bit older than Esteban, but when I was 18 years old, I wanted to do something that a lot of 18-year-olds want to do, and that's buy a nice car. Like everybody wants a flashy car, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, I was very young and very naive and optimistic. So I went to the dealership, and lo and behold, I wanted to buy a car, but I couldn't buy the car because I didn't have credit. And on top of that,
you couldn't get a car because you didn't have credit.
not only that, you could always lease a car, but you have to make over a certain amount of money. And back in the day, I used to work in fast food. I was not making the amount of money that the dealership wanted in order for me to lease the car. So the best way was to do credit, but yeah, I come from a background of where my parents, they're strictly cash. I'm Hispanic, and if you're Hispanic, you know that Mexican parents, they pay everything with cash, and they, like
cash is king.
Cash is king, and and everything has to be paid off, right away. My parents didn't believe in credit. In fact, it wasn't until the very last 3 years that my family, has had credit. So when I was 18 years old, I was looking for a credit card, and it was very difficult to look for a credit card when your family hasn't already had credit. So what did I do is I went on YouTube, I researched. Remember, YouTube is your best friend. I went on YouTube and researched how to get a credit card.
Internet.
Huh?
Internet.
How credit cards work. And in fact, I was actually really scared of credit cards because my senior year in my...
Senior year?
What's the name of the class?
Biology, AP Chemistry,
Political,
Math, Economics.
My senior year in my political slash economics class, we had not a professor, but a teacher who was very against. Was very.
Can they see that?
You're flexing your chest.
Go, bro. Keep talking, sir.
We had a political slash economics teacher who was very against. Is that even
credit?
Huh?
You had a professor that was against credit?
In my senior year, we had a professor that taught economics slash politics who was very
against credit.
Very anti-credit.
Really?
Very, very anti-credit. He said, whatever you do not get a credit card because he didn't want any of his students to get into debt. And so
there's good and bad debt.
There is good and bad in debt. So I had my whole perception and ideas about credit were very bad from the beginning.
And all evil.
He made me anti-credit. I was like, credit, no. Every time I had a credit card offer, I'd be like, yeah, no, absolutely not. It wasn't until I did my own research on YouTube that I figured out that credit is not all that bad. As long as you manage it correctly, it really is not all that bad.
Exactly.
So I just researched YouTube and I figured out what credit cards I can apply for. And in fact, the very first credit card that I applied for was through my bank, which is Bank of America. And I slowly found out that it was going to be very hard for me to build my credit because my parents didn't have a history of credit, and you know, I was barely building my work history or for me to be able to get a credit card. So what the bank offered me, and what we'll talk about, is something that
secured.
It's a secured credit card.
Those are good for beginners. And for those of you, at the end of the video, we'll put links in the description below for those who don't have credit cards and are looking to start building credit. Especially if you want to buy a future house, a nice car, a beautiful family.
Get a house, a nice car, and a beautiful family.
The credit is very important, and when the bank offered me the secured credit card, I was like, hold on, why do I have to deposit $300, for me to have a $300 credit line limit, only for me to find out at the end of the year to see if I qualified, for an actual credit card that didn't require a deposit, a non-secured credit card. So a secured credit card was not my first credit card. In fact, I kept researching, and I had a friend who told me about a credit card through Capital One, and it was a student credit card.
Not Credit One. Credit One is a knockoff Capital One.
Capital One.
Capital One.
Not Credit One. When I applied for this Capital One credit card, I was surprised because I qualified. I was like, yeah, I have a credit card. Oh God, I'm trying to buy this car. Hell yeah. Go buck wild. Oh yeah, let's change that.
We'll cut that out. So what'd you do after you got approved, saved that money, and you got a car?
Nope. Because even though you get a credit card, you still have to build your credit.
You just built the history.
Just because you get that credit card doesn't mean you can go straight to the dealership and they're gonna offer you, a great deal on a car. That's not how it happens. You have to actually build your credit.
Yeah, and for my story, you guys know I'm 20 years old. As soon as a little bit before I turned 19, I got my first credit card through Capital One. It was a rewards card.
Didn't I recommend it to you?
Yes, sir, you did. And recommended me to get a card, and I ended up getting approved from them. And then I built my credit history and I did a bunch of research. And we have like a bunch of papers and stuff, but we'll put them up on the screen so you guys can see all nice on what it actually takes to have a really high score.
How to build your credit.
Exactly. And I think the first thing that we should step into is it's not free money. Because I feel like most people, once they get a card, they'll get the swiping, they'll buy food, they'll buy Gucci belt that they want, and they'll be like, oh, easy monthly payments. When they don't understand how the interest works, how long it would actually take for you to pay off by just making minimum payments. And we have a bunch of statistics here that we'll go over that hopefully will change your guys' mind on how you should use your credit card based off of those who are extremely successful in that, like with a high credit score, if that makes sense. So we'll put this up on the screen right now. Boom, there you go. What does it consist of? It consists of payment history, amounts owed, length of credit history, how long you've had the credit line for, new credit, and types of credit used. That's what your FICO credit score consists of. All of that as far auto, mortgage, student debt, all of that. Actually, which they implemented something new in 2019. If you have an average balance of over $400 in your bank account, that's a boost to your FICO credit score. Another incentive to help you get in debt, more debt, for people to buy it, right? Because they'll get a higher score, they'll get a bigger line, and they'll get the swiping. Next question. So how much credit should you use? Let's say you have a line of $1,000 right here. $1,000. How much should you use of that? Some people say 40%. Some people say you max it out and then you pay it off the second day. A bunch of weird urban legends, a bunch of myths that are completely false. A good credit utilization is usually below 30%. That's the percentage of that credit line. So 30% of $1,000, which is $300. That's usually a good amount that you should be using. Now, what it says here, this is from Credit Card Insider, that is backed by FICO Credit Experian. that credit that they use for mortgages, auto loans, and a bunch of other things. They say the average person with a score of a 780 has a credit utilization of 7%.
7%.
7%.
So you want to make sure that, however much your credit line is, you're using about 7 to 10%. Realistically, that doesn't always happen.
Especially if you're young and you have like a low credit line. Like for me, I'm gonna be transparent. I don't have a large credit line. My credit history is about a year old. And my credit line is $2,000, and I use it to pay bills, and I zero it out every month. My credit utilization is like 20 to 30%. It's a little bit higher. Why? Because the bills are a couple $100, and I have such a low credit line that it's a higher credit utilization. But once that credit line jumps to, let's say, like I have a $10,000 line, my credit utilization will be even lower because I'm going to continue to use it to pay bills and just, letting the statement generate and then zeroing it out every month. Why do you let the statement generate? Because you need to show the bank that you have a balance, that you are financially responsible to be able to pay that off over time or with a single payment, That's what credit is. It's a history of being able to show financial responsibility by borrowing money and paying it back because you're proven financially responsible. Whether you're buying a house, you're investing in real estate, you're leveraging your money, you're getting a lender, a bunch of things. You're partnering up. It's a bunch of things.
So you want to make sure that you're paying your credit card on time. You want to make sure that there's no late payments. 7 to 10% utilization. You're not maxing out your credit card every month. Try to minimize the amount that you use your credit card.
Now, we'll go over some facts that'll hopefully open your guys' eyes on how bad we are with credit. This is literally, I'll put it up on the screen, skadoosh right there. The average interest rate on a credit card is 17.55%, which is relatively low because my APR is around 20 to 25%.
It ranges because mine as well is 25 points.